What's good, y'all? I'm Ben. We're on the Enventing Podcast. I'm here with the man with the plan, the biggest MC in Texas, uh, MC Durbio.
What's
Yeah,
good, Chad? What's good? What's
yeah,
good?
yeah. Yeah, so, um, you know, Durb been throwing events since I've been throwing events. Maybe before I was throwing events, right?
It's been so long, bro. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna dive deep into his event creation experience and anything he could tell y'all about it, any extra tips and tricks he could tell y'all. So to start us off, what got you into event creation?
Man, honestly, bro, this is really just wanted to. It all stems back to camaraderie, dog. Like, really just throwing events really just started out something fun to do before it ever became something where we think about, like, the profit or the money or anything like that. It was more about, like, let's have fun with our friends, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's where it started from. And, like, I feel like if we ever lose that little theme, that common theme, this event space is gonna just go down the drain.
Right.
So for me, it started back from like just being a youngin who wanted to have fun with his friends and provide fun for people of his age group or, you know what I'm saying, just people in our community.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, literally every event that um, every event that y'all have thrown makes it seem like it's always a community. It's always people know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
and if you're there, you most likely know a couple people,
Yeah.
and it's like a big family when you go to
Or if
little
anything,
boys events.
if you're there, you're gonna meet somebody new that you.
Right.
So I'm saying we're gonna
Right.
provide both aspects for you somehow.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and I think that's the most important part when doing an event, building that community, building the audience. So yeah, so what was your first event?
First event like with the organization or first event like dolo? Cause like
We could do both.
all right, so for me, my first event, honestly, was when back in high school, I threw an event for the first time I ever emceed. So I emceed a little, like a little showcase or something event back in my senior year of high school, and then I hosted like an after party event for that. Like, so that was just me and one of my close friends. We did that little event, and that was my first time really getting into the, event hosting space. Didn't have a clue in the world. I just knew, okay, we need something to do for, what I'm saying, everybody after. Did it. Went smooth, didn't think much of it. But I never would have thought that this would have been a common theme for like what, going on the next 10 years, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was my first event back in high school. That was dolo. Didn't think too much of it. My first event as with an organization was pretty much with TGC. Like as soon as we all got together post or during quarantine, post quarantine, forming that little friendship through our first years in college, locking in with them. My first like event, like really being active was probably definitely that second above the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that the little outside basketball court. That was my first event being like active with organization. Actually like just not just sending money, actually doing something. So
Right.
yeah, that was probably my first event being active with organization.
And how was your experience with TGC?
Man, TGC is the blueprint, bro. Like, bro, if it wasn't for TGC, I really wouldn't know most of the stuff I do now because I learned so much from like just being around different people. Like TGC, outside of just event spaces, man, TGC was really like provided just a space where like I could really just pick up game from different people, just how to like go about business. Like where we're talking about business aspects of like, behind the scenes, working with Cinnabo and Sule and people like that, and then interacting with people, learning, picking up game, little tricks along the way, or explaining little tricks and games from like, working with like the boys like Stanley and like, Fee and everybody else. So it's like we shared a lot of game with each other. They like, I gave game, I picked up game, they picked up game for me. So like, I really feel like we almost like all started like an even playing field, and like we all grew up together, and now we all stemmed into our own thing. So I feel like TGC is just a blueprint for everything. Like I can't say enough good things about TGC, man. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, yeah. So I asked Stan this last week. Why did TGC break up?
You know, like all good things come to an end. You know what I'm saying? Like you just outgrow certain things. You know, it's almost like the Golden State Warriors. Like people get old. Like it's like people get old, people get injured. I mean,
Who Draymond?
Morrow, if you're watching this, this is not a diss. I'm just playing. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like we all just that was a good what 4-year run.
Yeah.
Like we all definitely had a great experience with each other. So like, I mean, I feel like we did. TGC peaked. Like we peaked as a group, and then not even that, we surpassed what we peaked at. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta let things just hang in the up in the banners. Like just know that's a success. What's next? So I feel like that's what everybody's thinking. Like everybody got their own feeling. Like okay, let's move on to something else individually or separate groups, however we want to do it. But brotherhood always gonna be there for sure.
Yeah. So what was next was Mo Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So Mo Boys is low key the craziest coming together story because it was at a point where like I had to, not like I had to leave Houston, but like I feel like what was best for me in my personal space, in my like what career goals I had, what aspirations I had as a person, and for like my own self, I had to, you know, step out of Houston. And like for me, it was between like going to San Marcos or going to Dallas or UNT or whatever. And then so I was thinking about going to Texas State or San Marcos. And what's his name? I met up with Felix during the summer. Felix knows the story. Like, literally, we met up back in Houston. Felix had just came back from doing his JUCO stuff, and we met up at Ice Barn. I don't know if you're from Houston, you know, RIP Ice Barn. They closed down, but we met up at Ice Barn. We just get some snow cones and whatever. And he was like, bro, I don't know. I might go to UH to go play football. I'm like, well, why don't you just come back to Texas State? I'm going. Photos going back. A bunch of people were all going back. I'd never been to Texas State, but I was just going to transfer over. I was like, if we're all going, you might as well slide too. So that's when I told him, and he was on the fence about it. Then he hits us all up saying, okay, I'm going to Texas State. I'm already locked in Texas State. So as soon as we get on campus and we're around each other, it's like we're all just like, you know what I'm saying, it's brotherhood and there's normal stuff. We're not even thinking about Mo Boys. It's just like, it almost like after like a week of being together, it was almost like, okay, we got something here. Like, it's not even like, it's just a feeling. Like, we didn't even think about, oh, we're just gonna go to start throwing events. But it was just like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, it's that brotherhood. We already had the brotherhood before the event space followed it. So like, Fee came up with the idea, and it was literally me, him, Darius, Photo, Fola, and Io. And it made too much sense because we all stem from TGC. We're all in the same environment now, and we're gonna be there for the foreseeable future. So it's just like, why not? Yeah.
So, tell me your favorite experience as a Mo Boy.
Favorite experience as a Mo Boy? It's a tie right now. For me, it would be spring 2023. It was just a crazy run of just like camaraderie, like from night events to day parties to brunches to pool parties to summer events. It was just a crazy run. But honestly, I know it says a tie, but for me, honestly, is my favorite moment is just where I'm at right now with Mo Boys. Like, we're just in such a grown space. We've evolved. Like, we're being very diverse and creative with what we do now. And we're actually, our focus is really just on quality. Like quality when it comes to like events, quality when it comes to like our content, quality when it comes to the experiences we provide. Like, that's where I wanted to be from the get-go. But like, you know, everything takes time, and you know what I'm saying, it's just through experience, through working with each other, you know, the more you work with people, the more we start to like figure out, okay, this is what you're good at, this is what I'm good at, that's repetition.
Right.
So like right now, I feel like this is the space I'm in right now with the group where it's like, you know what I'm saying, like I feel like right now when it comes to our events, when you walk into a Mo Boys event, from the door to the bar, to the dance floor, to a section, to the stage, wherever you're at, when you're inside that event, me personally, my job is to make sure that you have the time of your life.
Right.
So that's like, I feel like that's where it's like, I'm at my peak with it right now. Like, I feel like I'm really cold with that, in my opinion, right now.
So let's get into it. How has your experience been as an MC?
As an MC, I mean, it's one of those things where like, you just gotta thank God for everything it provides for you because like honestly, the stuff that has came from MCing, I never would have expected it. Like the connections, the opportunities, like to meet some of my favorite artists, to be in front of crowds of like thousands of people. It's kind of crazy, especially for a person like me. I know most people. If I was to tell people, oh yeah, I'm not really a people person, or like I'm not really the one who likes to be in front of people, nobody would believe that. But it's like you ask my closest people, like you know what I'm saying. Like if you give me an option, I probably would rather hide my face sometimes. But being in a space where like you get to provide like a certain type of atmosphere for people is just it's kind of addictive.
Right.
It's just from an idea where it's like people get to come to an event and you're the voice. And when they leave that event, one of those things they're always gonna remember is, oh, he made sure we were good. Not even just talking on the microphone. He's the one who's gonna get in the crowd. He's gonna dance with you. He might buy you a drink. He might, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna make sure that you get your money's worth. And I feel like that's one thing I've prioritized as being an MC more than just like communicating. I want to make sure that people get their money's worth. So that's what I try to do with every event, not just when it comes to like mine or Mo Boys. Or if I get booked for something, I just want everybody to get their money's worth, man. Yeah.
So, any tips or tricks in MCing? What's your best advice to future MCs?
To future MCs, the best advice I have, honestly, would be to trust your voice. You really, like, that's one thing. Like, I used to be one of those people who used to hate hearing himself talk, but then, bro, after what, 8 years of doing this, or like 5+ years of doing this, it's just like, you just gotta trust your voice, trust your gut, like, trust your instincts when it comes to like MCing. Like, you gotta know, how to talk to people. If you're in that space, you know how to talk to people. So like, you shouldn't be worried about how you sound or worry about what people think or how you're gonna talk. Like, I've heard all the jokes when it comes to MCing. Like, well, like when I'm get done with an event, there's always gonna be someone saying, "Oh, Durb, I heard you say this," or like, it used to be things I used to always like yell out on the microphone and stuff like that at parties and stuff like that. Just okay, but look, did you have fun? Like that's what I'm saying. That's all that matters. Just trust your voice. You can't be self-conscious as an MC. That's one thing I've really had to get out of my own head about. Like, even still, I have my own moments where like, you know what I'm saying, like, I get booked for an event. To this day, I'm just like, do I still got it? Like, am I sure I know what to say? Like, I just feel sometimes self-doubt is always gonna be a thing, but you just gotta know at the end of the day, you just gotta have that certain belief that you're him or you're her. So can't nobody really mess with you when it comes to, interacting or entertaining people.
Yeah. Have you ever had to MC a dead crowd? And if you did, how you turn them up?
Man, I've MC'd dead crowds, but MCing a crowd for like just an older audience as a whole, or like an audience that's not in your age bracket, that I feel like that's always gonna be a challenging thing. But the thing is, for me, like, just even when it's just a dead crowd in general, or like any crowd that I'm just not gonna relate to, or they don't relate to me, I just try to like, provide an atmosphere where it's like, okay, you don't get me, I don't get you, but we get why we're here. And if I can keep that at the forefront and make sure they're having fun for the reason why they're here, it's all gonna work out.
Right.
Eventually, they're gonna come around. That's what, like, the same thing. Like with MCing and DJing, it's almost like the same thing. Like, you may play some music as a DJ and like, the audience not really feeling it, but as long as that DJ is interactive and like his spirits isn't down because you're not feeling him at first, the audience is going to give you that. They're gonna give you some respect at the end of the day. They're gonna start rocking with you. So it's the same thing as an MC. Like, you can't be up there being too scary, being too like fearful, like what they thinking. You gotta be confident. Be like, you know what? I know I'm him. I know I'm her. I'm finna still do my job. And if you want to get in with me, get in with me. If not, I'm gonna make sure you have fun somehow, some way, even if you're not feeling me. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what's been the worst time you had to MC something?
Man, I don't want to call out a whole demographic, but like, bro, MCing anything that's like for an older African crowd, dog, is like, I'm not gonna say I hate it, but it's just like, man, I really don't want to put myself in a situation where like I'm dealing with a crowd who's just, I know for sure doesn't want to get a real experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's really what it is with every like older African crowd I deal with, where like I host like weddings or I host like, you know, anniversaries or like corporate events or stuff like that. It's really just with that African demographic. I'm speaking as a Nigerian man. Like, it's just, Africans are hard to entertain or please, but they always come around at the end of the day somehow. I still get booked for them, so I must be doing something right. But I think that's my worst, like, not worst, but like that's the one that to this day where like it's always like I get that booking request. It's like, do I want to do this? But like, there's a reason why people reach out to you, so I'm not gonna turn down anything.
So yeah, what other than camaraderie, right? What is your favorite part about doing events?
Other than camaraderie, my favorite part about throwing events, honestly, the marketing and promotion. I feel like over the years I've really started to have more fun with that, or like not even just more fun, like I enjoyed the process. Like, you know how like athletes, they say you gotta enjoy like the process of doing stuff over and over again. Like, I've grown to really appreciate that. Like when it comes to marketing or promoting not just myself, but like a brand or a business or like my brand, my business, or any event I have is like, I really enjoy like, you know, I enjoy putting my face on something, or putting my face or my voice on a line for something, and people go for it because I'm putting my face and my stamp on it, and it pans out to like, okay, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it's really an addicting thing, honestly, bro. It's like a self drug where it's like, you know, like I'm really providing this type of atmosphere for people, and like they're all coming together and they're having a blast. So like really, outside camaraderie is really just, you know, marketing and promoting, coming up with new ways to be creative, coming up with new concepts for people to experience something that they probably never seen before, like a traditional standpoint.
Okay. Yeah, and marketing events nowadays is like very difficult.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh yeah.
It used to be so easy because you could tell people, you could send your flyer out. This is what we used to do. We used to get the flyer, Snapchat it to the whole list. And say repost on your story. And everybody, at least 50% of people, and that's a high rate. That's a high rate. 50% of people, and I feel like I'm being low even saying 50, but they would repost it. And basically it looked like everybody going from there.
Look, we're from that era where it was just a Twitter group chat, and that Twitter group chat can have 100 people, and that 100 is gonna bring 100.
Right.
So like,
all they gotta do is tweet a couple words.
Bro, that was the easiest. Man, that was the best era. I'm sorry. Like, I know we in an era now where we post everything on Instagram and all that, you know, the Reels, TikTok, that's cool, but I prefer that Snapchat, old Twitter era where it's like you had the group chats or like the mass spam, and like we didn't have to do too much.
And a big part of that was because like I feel like people are too cool now.
Yeah, see, the reason why that type of promotion and marketing fell out is because like people are too cool now, and like now it's like it's a lost art of camaraderie. People don't know how to interact with people for real. Twitter and Snapchat were those places where like we really interacted. You don't really interact for real on Instagram.
Right.
Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe we do, but like to the level that it was where like we're posting memes of each other on a Twitter timeline, laughing at each other, getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and all that engagement is going towards your event.
Right.
That era is like completely like prehistoric. If you ask somebody now who, let's say, is a freshman at University of Houston, have you ever seen a flyer on Twitter? They're like, like, well, has anybody ever sent you a flyer on Snapchat? Like, nah. I mean, it's an era thing for sure, but it's like, I feel like people really underestimate how much camaraderie came with the old way of promoting and marketing things, and now it's almost like when you promote and market things now, it's like, is it really genuine? Like, are you just posting this just to post? Like, like marketing and promotion used to really be a thing where like it was an art, and like you really used to enjoy like doing what you do because it showed people like how excited you were for the event and like why you should look forward to this event as well, because it's just the energy that's going to be there.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten. I feel like a lot of it has to do with Instagram being. When Instagram becoming the go-to app. And then with it becoming the go-to app, it was people are just. A lot of people start to treat it like LinkedIn, where you can only post your most perfect self, and you don't get to see the any bad qualities about somebody.
And that's why the whole concept of what you're saying, people are too cool now. Now people don't want to look a certain way.
Yeah, and nobody want to look like a groupie or a fanboy. When you just supporting what you love the love of people around you.
You know what's crazy? Another curator in Houston, he posted something on his IG story. He was like, "I promise I'm not a not a groupie," but he said something like, "I promise I'm not something. I just love my event brand, or like I love my brand I have going on. Like I promise I'm not like a party promoter, or like I promise I'm not like a person who's just like overly doing something right now, like something like that, amongst those lines." He's like, "I just love what I have going on," because he was really like every day just posting, promoting his event. And I swiped up on his story, and I was like, that's so real, because like I feel like right now on Instagram, if you post something every day about your event, like you look almost crazy. But in reality, it's like this is a whole, like, not just a showcase. It's like a business. Like this is something like
It is a business,
we're
definitely.
investing so much into this, not just money wise, like energy, effort, like every day. Like let's say you marketing an event for 3 weeks. Leading up, those 3 weeks leading up to that event will be probably the most hectic 3 weeks of your life, because it's something new every day, little or big, but leading up to that event. And like nobody who's attending has a clue in the world.
Right.
And then like when it finally happens, it's just
a
like.
A lot of people come to the event and don't know everything
bro,
that went into
they just
it.
like, meanwhile they don't know, like we almost lost this venue. Like we almost didn't sell out tickets, or what's the name? We almost this like, bro, like you guys have no clue in the world. So like that's why we go so hard, because it's like we want to give not only ourselves, but we want to give the people showing up their money's worth. Like that's where I stand with it. Like I don't want anybody ever come to an event I MC, promote, host, curate. I don't want anybody to come to a Durbio event and be like, yeah, I should have just stayed home.
Yeah.
I would. I probably can't live with myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But that's where I stand with it.
So with that, tell us the process of event creation in your lens.
Event curation, for me, I believe it starts with a concept. What concept do you want to execute? And once you have a full understanding of your concept, you start to get the process in order for like how we're gonna execute. So, like, you know what I'm saying, like when it comes to like how we want to promote it, how are we gonna do tickets, or how are we gonna do marketing? Just have a set plan for everything. And I feel like having all that information together, that's just building your foundation. Once that's all taken care of, really that time you have allocated to promoting your event, that's really what makes or break.
Right.
So like I try, let's say like during the week, I like a normal schedule, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. People not really gonna be paying much attention to their phone on Saturday. Yeah, even Fridays too, but I try to remind them every other day, pretty much. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we get back to it on like a Sunday on like a little light thing. Restarted Monday. So like that's like the promotion process, and then when it's game day, it's just game day. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it's time for the event, it's time for the event. Like really, like when it's time for the event, like it's all muscle memory from there, for me at least. Because like I handle business operations, but I'm not really as involved. Like I may tag in here and there on the process leading up to it, but that's really, thank God we have a great team, at least with Mo Boys, where like, Felix is like business operations from top to bottom. He knows everything. He handles all that. I may help him out wherever he needs help, or give my 2 cents, and we may do this, we may do that. Cool. But once you walk through the doors of that event, I'm fully responsible for whatever happens. Like whatever you leave that event saying, I'm gonna make sure that you say you had a blast. Like we're gonna set up the operations, however we gotta do it. Set up the plan, set up the little frame for it. Okay, now once you walk in, I'm gonna make sure you get your money's worth every time. and we hit it out the park every time just because we have a great team with people, in my experiences.
So what's next for Mo Boys?
Right now, well, actually, honestly, next thing for Mo Boys is really just to, we're really finna just level the things up now.
Mm.
I feel like we were being real content with just what we have, our audience, and we are really content with making sure they get a good time, like in a certain demographic, like Austin, Texas, or that area. But we finna get back on the road a little bit. We finna get back, getting a little bit more eventful, a little bit more. Let's have a little bit more different things to provide for people, not just a normal experience. So I know most people right now, when they think of Mo Boys, they're used to us having certain events throughout the year, but it's time to get a little bit more collabs going.
Consistency is going to go up.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like it's just right now it's kind of tough because like the group as a whole, we're split up where like, all right, half is in Austin, the other half is like in Houston. So like we're trying to do events there, do events over here, and like when we're trying to get boots on the ground, trying to establish relationships with people, it's kind of hard to do that when it's only like a couple people over there. So like you're not really meeting the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're getting a little bit more consistent. We're getting a little bit more. We're in a space right now where it's like we're gonna start doing a little bit more to please more than just one demographic.
Okay. Yeah. So, what's your favorite city to throw an event in?
It's a two-part answer. My favorite city to throw an event for me is Austin, hands down. But my favorite city to get booked for an event, like as an MC or a host, is Houston every time. Like it's not even close.
What's the difference?
For me, Houston is such an oversaturated city. So it's like, it's hard to provide, honestly, it is kind of hard to provide like a different experience for people in Houston because like, they see it every week, they see it every day. Like, you're not gonna be in Houston for a month and you're not gonna hear about a R&B event. Like R&B events and like, you got your Throwback Thursdays, Flashback Fridays, all that type of stuff, like brunch, like it's Houston. Like it's hard to be different in Houston because like there's so much people who already have the same idea. But Austin is it's a demographic who they want some of that like Houston experience, like where it's like, okay, we want to have different experiences we can look forward to. That's why I love Austin so much because like most of the time people over there, when they come to a Mo Boys event, like we did like we did like a Cowboy Sunday Fun Day event last year. It was a day party thing. A lot of people who came there were from TikTok or from our promotions or from Instagram, and they were like, well, we've never had this experience before. This is our first time seeing like people actually do something like this in Austin for like people like our skin color, people our demographic. So it's like that's why I like Austin so much because like we can provide experiences where like it actually means something, not just in Houston where like we're just trying to, what I'm saying, we're just trying to like do something in Houston just to fit in. Like if we do something in Houston that's real intentional, it's real like there's a reason behind it, and of course we're gonna make sure everybody enjoys themselves regardless of where we do an event at. But I feel like in Austin is always like it hits a little bit more just because they actually don't really get that same exposure to different, events or experiences like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Everybody in that chair has said the same thing about Houston. Every single person said, okay, yeah, it's just super saturated, and it's hard to throw an event, definitely that nobody has seen before.
Yeah.
And people feel like if they miss yours, okay, another one come
like,
up next week.
The thing about Houston is like even if you feel like okay, you can't in Houston you can't really feel like you're missing out on anything because like what's here today be there tomorrow almost like. So it's almost like in Houston you just almost like want to just be the talent being booked. That's why for me like I love hosting in Houston. I love like coming to different events that go on in Houston because like I mean regardless if you're always gonna see the same event, it's always gonna be a good time regardless. So I mean there's a lot of different curators in Houston. Like shout out to like Blake Reddix, shout out to Drip Shout out to all the groups over there in Houston as a whole who really like put on for the city consistently. But I mean, in Houston, you know that you're gonna always have something to do.
Right. Yeah. Right. Last question would be what is your best advice for somebody trying to get into event curation?
For someone trying to get into event curation, first thing I would want them to kind of think about is like, is this really something you want to do? Because it's not something that you can just half-ass. Like, it's really a process. Like, for us to still be doing this years after, our adolescence or being youngins, now we're like grown men, like mid-20s, still investing into this. This has to be something that you really want to do.
Right.
Like, you're not always going to get the best profit out of an event. You're not always going to get the best reviews from an event. You're not always going to get the best experience working with different brands or different event spaces or different vendors or stuff like that. But it's almost like, does your love for what you're doing outweigh the possible downsides to what comes to this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get over that part, and if you can honestly say to yourself, yeah, okay, I love this regardless, or I love what I do regardless, okay, then you should find your niche and invest into it. Like, I'm a person, and when it comes to event spaces, I like to provide different experiences. There's some people who, when it comes to event curations or stuff like that, they like to just be in their niche, and whether they're a night party animal club person, club events, or you got like a daytime events or whatever it is. Like, I like to invest in different things. Like,
right.
I don't want to just stick under one umbrella. So when it comes to event curations, you just gotta know what you're really interested in, what your niche is, and understand what the market is for it and where you live at, where the city is that you're in, and what do you provide that's different that would want people to invest into not only yourself, but what you're trying to provide.
Right.
And once that comes together, once we figure it out, for me, if we figured that out, back in 2021, we halfway through 2026.
Yeah.
It works, it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, if you have anything to shout out, go ahead and shout that out.
Yeah, so shout out to Mo Boys. Go ahead and follow Mo Boys on Instagram at MOBOYZINC. That's on Instagram, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well at Durbio, DURBIOO. And we have a lot of different plans for not only the summer, but for 2026 and years to come. So if you're interested in having a fun experience, not just the typical thing that you may see every time you scroll on social media, go ahead and give us a follow, and I promise you, at the end of the day, you come to one of my events, at least, you're going to get your money's worth. Yeah.
That was a good monologue right there. Okay, Bet, and that's a wrap. I want to thank you for being on the Enventing Podcast. It was a pleasure to have you.
Of course, man. Every young inventor should come on this podcast, man. If you trying to throw event curation, anything like that, or you want to know what's the best platform to use, you should definitely stop by, come chat it up, come get some real game. This ain't $1 million worth of game, but you're getting all your millions of dollars worth over here, for real. So yeah, definitely come stop by, you know what I'm saying, and come get some real game, come get the best platforms, and get the best information, for sure.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Enventing Podcast. Shout out GateKeepers. Go on there and create your next event, or you can find your next event anywhere in the United States. Check out GateKeepers. Peace.